Hello everyone, this is Pankaj and I welcome you all to new day, new question series. So once again we have one more question here. As you can see on the screen, the question is saying the motion of a mass on a spring with a spring constant k is as shown in the figure. So basically as you can see here we have just 1 minute. So as you can see here we have basically a block this block is attached with the spring as we can see on the question, and the spring constant of this spring is basically k. Okay, let's see what this question is saying. The question is saying the equation of motion is given by x of t is equals to a sin omega t plus b cos omega t. It means this question is based on the combination of SHM, because two equations they have given here. Now one more thing they are saying, with omega is equals to under root k by m. Okay, one more thing they have mentioned. Now they are saying suppose that at t equals to 0, that is when motion has started, the position of mass is denoted by x of 0 and the velocity is denoted by v of 0. Okay, these two things they have mentioned. Then its displacement can also be represented as x of t is equals to c cos omega t minus phi. It means this will be your combined SHM equation. Now they are asking us to find the value of c and value of phi. As we can see in the option, all these values of c and phi are in terms of x of naught and v of naught, that is v of 0 and x of 0. So we will need this value. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to write the equation which we have been given in the question, and the given equation is basically your x equals to a sin omega t plus b cos omega t. So x is equals to a sin omega t plus b cos omega t. So this is the equation we have. Now we want to find two things, like at t equals to 0 I want to find x of 0. So x of 0 will be wherever there is a t, I will have to substitute that t with the 0. So it will become a sin 0 plus b cos 0. So this sin 0 will completely become 0 and this cos 0 will completely become equals to 1. So value of x of 0, as you can see, its value will be simple b. Okay, so x of 0 we got. One more thing which we will need is basically v of 0 also, because they have mentioned this v of 0 also. So I will need this v of 0. So let's try to find this v of 0. For that I will need the velocity. For that I will have to differentiate the position. V is equals to dx upon dt. So it will be a into differentiation of sin omega t is basically cos omega t, and further differentiation of omega t will be omega. Okay, so a omega cos omega t, and similarly here also b is constant, differentiation of cos is basically your sin, and further differentiation of omega t will be basically omega. So this is the value of velocity which we got. Now I want to find v of 0 also. So v of 0, let's try to find v of 0. So what equation of v we have? A omega. So a omega, wherever there is a t, again I will have to put 0. So cos of 0 minus b into omega sin of 0. So again I know that this cos 0 will become equal to 1 and sin 0 will become equal to 0. So the value of v of 0 which I got is basically a omega. So value of x of 0 I got as a b, value of v of 0 I got as a omega. Okay, now I got the first step which is completed. I got the values of x of 0 and v of 0. Now next step is to basically combine these two SHM, because we have two equations here now. So let's combine them. So let me draw it just beside it. So we want to combine these two SHM equation. So we know that in order to combine these two equation, both the functions, like both the trigonometric function, like this and this, they should be in the same form. So what I will do, I will keep the sign as it is, and I will keep the like convert the cos in terms of sign. Let's see how we can do. So it will become x equals to a sine omega t, and we know that we can write cos in terms of sine in this form, like sine omega t plus phi. Okay, this phi is nothing but the angle we are taking, sorry, not phi, it should be 90. Let me correct it, sine, because we know that sine 90 plus theta is nothing but your basically cos theta, sine omega t plus pi by 2. Now we have converted this into the form of a sine, because cos I have written in the form of sine, because sine 90 plus theta is nothing but your basically cos of theta. Okay, now we will draw its phasor diagram, like along the x-axis. If I am saying this angle is basically omega t, where our amplitude is basically a, so if I add 90 here, that is omega t plus pi by 2, here we will be having basically b, and the resultant amplitude of this a and b is a net. Okay, because what we have, like sine omega t along the x-axis, this is sine omega t, and when I will add 90 in this sine omega t, that is 90 plus omega t, I will have this b. So I have drawn this phasor diagram. Now let's try to find the a net. So we know that according to the vector, a net is equals to under root of a square plus b square. So a square plus b square. Okay, we got basically value of a net. One more thing which I am doing here, I am taking this angle as alpha, so that I can have direction of resultant amplitude, that is tan alpha, which will be opposite. Opposite is basically your b, and adjacent is basically your a, so tan alpha is b by a. Okay, one more thing I got. Now let's try to write the resultant equation of this SHM. So resultant equation will be x is equals to a net. Now our equation is in terms of sine, na? Like both are in the terms of sine. Sine omega t plus alpha, because alpha is the angle we have considered. Okay, no problem. Now let's try to write the value of a net. How much value of a net we have? Value of a net we got as a square plus b square. Okay, sine. Now omega t will be as it is, omega t, but value of alpha, it will be tan inverse b by a. Okay, let me write it, 10. Let's do one more thing. We will put this value after one more step. Okay, because there is one more thing which I want to explain you. Now the second thing which I wanted to explain you is, in the question also they have given us the equation of the resultant. Let me show you. This is the equation we have. This x is equals to c cos omega t minus phi. This is also the equation of the resultant SHM or combined SHM. Let us write this equation. It is x of t they have given, no? Okay, x of t is equals to c cos omega t minus phi. So resultant equation which we have in the question, it is in the form of cos, and the resultant equation which we have is it in terms of sine. This is the given one in terms of cos. This is the equation which we have found in terms of sine. Okay, now let's write it in terms of sine. So I am keeping it as it is. See, cos can be written as a sine. Sine 90 plus theta is cos theta. So theta value is basically omega t minus phi. And what I am trying to do here is add the 90. Let's convert it into the form in which we have our equation, that is this equation. So omega t is as it is. Now what I need is basically plus. So here I have minus. Let me arrange it. So it will become x of t is equals to c sine omega t plus pi by 2 minus phi. Now you can see that our equation on left hand side and on right hand side, like this one which is given in the question and this one which we have found, both are now in the same form. Okay, now I can put the value of alpha. So let me put the value of resultant. It is a square plus b square, sine as it is, omega t as it is, plus alpha can be replaced by, like we have written here, alpha can be replaced by tan inverse b by a. So I am replacing alpha with the tan inverse b by a. Okay, now let's compare. So on comparing value of c, it will be under root a square plus b square. So on comparing, we will have our c as root of a square plus b square. But as we have already seen in the options that this c is in the form of v naught and x naught. So what is the value of a we have? So we can find the value of a as v naught by omega. So value of a is v naught by omega. So value of a square will be v naught square by omega square. And what is the value of b we have? Value of b, we can see that it is x naught. So b will be replaced by x naught square. So we got the value of c, which is v naught square by omega square plus x naught square. So an option we have like v naught square by omega square, v naught square by omega square. So two options we have, that is option number c and option number d. So any one, like x naught square also na. So x naught square, yes, like option number c and option number d. But let me find one more thing, that is our phi which they are asking. So let's try to find the phi. So for finding the phi, what we will do? Again, we will compare. That is tan inverse b by a is equals to pi by 2 minus of phi. Okay, now so from here b by a is equals to 10, because this tan inverse on coming to right hand side become the 10. So tan 90 minus theta is basically your cot of theta. So theta is basically phi. So tan pi by 2 minus phi will be cot phi. But we need all the options, as you can see, is in terms of tan. So I will have to convert this phi in terms of tan. So reciprocal of cot will be tan. So we can write like a by b is equals to tan phi. So from here value of phi will be tan inverse A by B. So we got the value of C also, and we got the value of phi also. This is the value of phi we have, and this is the value of C we have, which they have asked in the question. Let's check the options. So our 10, sorry, phi is again this A and B we need to convert in terms of A and B, because in the options we have, they are in the terms of A and B. Just 1 minute it will take. So tan inverse value of A, how much we have? Value of A is basically, as we have found earlier, V naught by omega. So V naught by omega, and value of B, how much we have? Value of B is basically your x naught, or xo, not x naught, it is x of o. Now from here we got our value. Let me correct this part also. It is V of 0, and okay, this is also x of 0, this is also V of 0. So these are the values we have. So let's confirm our options. So phi is tan inverse V naught by x naught omega, that is option number D is our correct answer. Okay.